2009. Our son Jackson was 9 months old. We had gone through a series of just strange medical stuff, taken him to the pediatricians a few times, and eventually wound up with a couple of surgeries. The second of one wound us up at St. V's, being admitted, spending a lot of time with doctors coming in and coming out and trying to figure out what could possibly be wrong with our little boy.
I did a medical interview of Luke and Sarah going back to when Jackson was born all the way to the present day. Did a physical exam of Jackson, reviewed his x-rays and CAT scans, and then let them know rather bluntly that there's only one reason Jackson had this problem, and that was somebody physically abused him. And I told them that this only happened because someone kicked him or punched him out of a lot of anger. Part of the follow-up I had with them was to let them know that I'd also had to call the police and children's services. I also recommended to the children's service worker at the time that, based on everything I saw, that Jackson needed to be taken away from his parents and put into a foster home. About 3 days later, I woke up in the morning and I had this feeling I couldn't shake that I was wrong on the diagnosis. And suddenly it became clear, just really in the twinkling of an eye almost, what was wrong with Jackson. Everybody started to agree that it made sense, that it wasn't child abuse, that it was a birth defect. I went and met with Luke and Sarah and told them what I was thinking, and they pulled out an invite card and asked me to come to church and asked if I had a relationship with Christ. I had told them that I wasn't interested in church, but I thanked them for the card to put it in my back pocket. I left that room as quick as I could, and as I got down the hallway, I threw the card in the trash. Honestly, I didn't want to ever see them again. I just figured, why would they want to see me? It was about a year after I had last seen Luke and Sarah that my life was getting out of control in terms of my stress and my job, and I decided I needed to go to church, and my family had said, let's go to Cedar Creek, so I said, sure, I'll give it a try. And we attended Perrysburg campus, loved what we saw, but in the back of my mind I thought, what am I going to do when I run into Luke and Sarah? It was at the 15-year celebration in September of 2010 at Huntington Center. We went, we enjoyed it, we left, and that evening as everybody was going home, I felt compelled to stay on the sidewalk and just sort of absorb the moment. And then all of a sudden, here comes Luke and Sarah down the escalator out the main entrance, and when they saw me, they came running to me. Luke jumped on me with so much force that it actually knocked me back.
We had no idea that he was even coming to the church, let alone going to a 15-year celebration. He said, I'm here because of you. I want to be around people like you. And I'll never forget those words.
Do you know why Jesus talked about money more than heaven and hell combined? Because he understood the downside, the side effects on us. And if arrogance and this hope potentially migrating wasn't enough, then there's this whole other long list of other problems that we could spend an entire afternoon on. Here's just the short version of it. 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 9 and 10, the summation. People who long to be rich fall into temptation and are trapped by many foolish and harmful desires that plunge them into ruin and destruction. For the love, not money, but for the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. And some people craving money have wandered from the true faith and pierced themselves with many sorrows.